Oh, oh.
待て、今なんて言った？
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Raging Loop. Last time not like too much happened. We still haven't passed the first night. We're just kind of like gathering information. We got our new room, so we actually have a place to stay for the night. We're talking to Mochi and the old man, but we talked to Yasunada, the Haru-chan, and the mom. We didn't get like much out of it besides there's like a weird love triangle going on between Haru-chan, Yasunada, and Shiemi, I guess. But yeah, let's just continue our talk here. Oh yeah, he said. Oh yeah, and Mochi just revealed that Takumi revealed that he's the snake, and he's like, oh, the wolves are laughing. We're probably fucked because it was dumb, and it's not as dumb as the Yasunada play. At least there can be some value, but it's probably not because of the Yasunada play. Kind of cucked it, but yeah, we are in a situation.
その前だ。
匠兄がヘビだって言ったとき？
匠さんがヘビなのか？
そう言ってた。
Yep.
ちょっと休養ができた。またな、モッチ。
Oh, please let us talk to Takumi and then convince him not to do the dumbass play to investigate Nobito. It's so stupid. Or let us talk to Spider to confirm the protection on Takumi, at least. Good talk, guys. I like the old man. He's kind of chill.
知ってたのか？
Shit, I didn't have the time nor the connections.
ムロさん。
Takumi.
なんだ?
That was my line. Why was he farming at a time like this? Bro's on the grind set. The Sigma grind set. Hey, death game werewolves. These crops aren't gonna take care of themselves, you know?
鍵、ありがとうございます。
ああ、それはいいけど、あんま一人でうろつくなよ。ただでさえみんなピリピリしてんだ。
Yeah, he is the one who gave us the key for our own dorm room, so sweet. I like Takumi, he's just too innocent. Unless that's a play. Unless it's anyone sus. Anyone sus. Except for, I mean, Yasunada's the only super sus one still, though. At least in my book.
そのことですが、ムロさんは
That's what
何人殺すか知ってますか？
we need to know the number, man. It's very important.
ちえみのやつ、そんなことまで喋ったのかよ。
僕が無理に聞き出したんです。というか、話が伝わることはあなたも予想した上で、ちえみちゃんに任せたはずだ。それでも情報は断片的ですが、ちょっと心配があるんです。すみませんが、教えてもらえませんか？
Trust me, I'm the MC. We can help.
実のところな、俺はバカらしいんだよ。こんなことで他の世話邪魔するの
Brother,
はよ。
you're playing a ritual where you're gonna kill, at least like, if you're lucky, 2 villagers are gonna die who are werewolves. Actually, we don't know. Maybe the people who turn into werewolves are still alive somewhere, but villagers are definitely gonna die, and you're just farming, man.
ちえみやあんたにはわかるかと思ったが、結局あんたもマジになってんのか?
Well, he really didn't seem all that bothered by all this, but
もう2人死んでいる。
何が珍しいんだ?
they were just outsiders.
は?
あのな、人間なんざいくらでも死んでるし、俺はいくらでも
We're all gonna die. Old age, werewolf, who really cares, man? Nothing matters. Everything is pointless. What was he talking about?
上の土砂崩れの現場見たか? ありゃ8年前に野里が手入れたら崩れてそのまんまになってる。
What are you talking? Okay, what is he actually talking about right now?
気味悪がって片付けもしやがらねえ。
He's just pissed.
作業員の死体は俺が掘り出して埋めた。
I guess he's used to death. I had no idea that was such a big deal.
バカな町の奴らが山ん中で首つって獣に食われることもある。俺やおやっさんが苦労して片付ける羽目になる。 皿長に死体が流れることも珍しくねえ。渓流釣りだかなんだか知らねえが、上流は危ねえっつうのによ。
Listen, sorry, bro, but we're talking about a proactive situation here, where depending on how much you tear, less people will die. You know, it's a little different. Though I get why he's frustrated.
それでもな、誰も何もしてくれねえ。俺らとしちゃな、無縁仏で埋めて、それで終わりにしてきたこった。
Listen, as someone give him a pat on the back, man. I mean, I get the feeling when you work hard and no one appreciates your work, even though it's pretty vital. I mean, don't lash out on us though. We don't know shit. That's more of the villagers' fault than like a stranger's fault, you know?
山っつうのは獣が出ようがムクロが出ようが何でもありなんだよ、兄ちゃん。
でも今回は村の中で。
ああ、なんだろうな。月の輪が人を食うなんざ聞かねえし。もしかして本物の。
So he really doesn't believe in the curse. Okay, that's why he's so dismissive. Interesting. Dude, I think I mentioned this in another episode when they were talking about bears, but fucking black bears in Japan looked so fucking weird compared to like black bears in Canada. They looked so goofy ass in Japan. Like they looked ugly. North American bears are the cool ones, alright? You know? I'm just saying, Canada clears Japan in bears. You know? I'll take the W where we can.
あれが野獣の仕業だと。
人間の仕業だっつうのもどうなんだ。要は夜に番を立てりゃいい話だろうが、なぜバカみてえに殺し
No,
合う
I'm
必要
saying
が
it
ある。
was done by werewolves, not humans. This person was hard to read. There was no denying he had a good head on his shoulders. He was reasonable and skeptical about the unknown. On the other hand, there's some things he put above rationality. It felt like something you could call Yasumizu's rules, or better yet, fellowship. He looked at the situation from the perspective of, I gotta protect Yasumizu. He did whatever he could within those constraints, but he was in denial about the existence of enemies originating from within Yasumizu. It's in your own lore, bro. To him, the situation was just a common case of some outsiders died, so what? Or maybe that was what he really wanted to think. I charted. That made the situation very bad. But I, being an outsider, couldn't say that.
そうですよね。おっしゃる通り。そんな迷信
I
に
mean, outright believe in it. Like, on the jump is dumb, I agree, but there is evidence to back it up, you know? He looked displeased. What was I supposed to do?
ただちょっと気になるんです。伝説で今夜一晩で皆殺しになるとかなってるなら。
Everyone definitely doesn't die the first night. It's 1 or 2 deaths. It's 1 death or 1 death per werewolf for sure. Like, I'm 99% sure of that. Otherwise, it's not a mafia game.
ああ、それはねえな。狼が殺
Let's
一
go!
晩に一人だけのはずだ。
That's huge. It also balances the game so well. Alright, 1 per night. I'm just saying, if they made Takumi the spider and they gave me control, no villagers would die. Actually, not. Okay, I'm a little cocky, but I would do so well. Listen, this is actually Mafia. I'm actually a really good Mafia player. Though I'm better at like the Mafia role. Well, I mean, that's not true. But I'm really good at the Mafia role. Just because I'm really good at like lying under pressure and stuff. Like there's like this one play where like late game I declared I was the sheriff first. And like the other sheriff was still alive. But he's like, no, he's lying. I'm the sheriff. Then I'm like, oh, of course. That's what the werewolf would say. He's trying to pretend he's the sheriff. Like I outplayed the fuck out of everyone. Anyways. Sorry, I gotta humble brag. But that's actually really good. Because if they could kill 1 per werewolf, that means they would just target Takumi and Nobito and just clear both, and then they would literally get 0 information from the night. Now, it's still bad because if Takumi investigates Nobito and they kill Nobito, then it's still wasted information. But if the spider, it depends what they aim for. Because I think the wolves will probably target Nobito because it's just the smart play. And if the spider can predict that and protect Nobito and then we get the information, then it's pretty good. Obviously, though, it's risky leaving Takumi open like that. I don't know. It just seems you gotta risk it though. You gotta play aggressive.
そうなんですか。伝説上、それはなぜだってこと
Especially
に
if
なっ
it's
てるん
only
でしょう。
you can protect one person. I'm actually really interested in that. Can you protect one person a night, or do you have to protect someone different every night, or can you only protect a person once for the whole game, or can you just spam protect a person? That's also a very important thing to do. Because I guess if you can spam protect a person, just hard stick on Takumi and don't tell who he's gonna reveal, just so he can spam choose. But that seems a little cheese, and that's usually not how it works in larger games like this.
ばあちゃんなんつってたかな。誰も山の掟には逆らえん。よもつ狼
Makes sense.
だったか。
よもつ狼
That's the wolves.
よみがえった狼って意味だと。
Huh? Weird, I felt like I heard that term before. Still, wasn't it weird that the laws apply to the wolves too? No? If it's God of both the demon... I mean, the wolves originated from like a guardian that spawned from God, right? So it made sense it would still follow its rules. They're on the Yomibito side, as in those opposing the mountain. And I was pretty sure the law of the mountain said that only one person could be killed per day. Lynching one during the day was the limit, and killing more than one person a night was against the rules. Both would make you the target of the corruption. It didn't make much sense to me, but at least I found out that wolves too can only kill one person per night. Made sense to me, but yeah.
変なこと聞いてすみませんでした。おとなしく引っ込んでおきます。
Wait, no, talk about his choice.
男手がいるときは言ってください。勝手に手は出さないでおきますが。 ここに
Fuck, I really wanted to talk about
働
it.
きたいんです。
Oh well. I mean, getting that kill information is really important anyways.
ああ、そうだな。
Yeah, we can farm a bit. We can... I don't even know what farmers do. His last reply was half-hearted, but at least I got a bit of the rules I was missing. We'll take it. When I came back to the dining hall, I found the students Shami and Yoshitsuru-kun, Yasunaga's little brother. Maito had left? Alright.
うんこマンじゃないハッサン
Don't call me Hassan.
うんこマン
何それ。
The name still got a chance to spread. That aside, I had to find out what happened today at today's feast. Very important. Recalling what Mochi told me, this made this kind of hard.
悪いけど、ちょっとちえみちゃん借りていい？
わお、ちえみさん大人気。
Wow.
だからあなたは
Haru.
足りないわね
Listen, we gotta break the love triangle. It doesn't matter. Your boy's probably a werewolf.
はるちゃん、いいから僕らは母さんを手伝おう。
I'm gonna feel sad if he's not a werewolf and I've just been dissing him the whole time. But if he is, though, that would be so sick. So I'm just gonna keep doubling down until I'm proven wrong or right.
兄ちゃんも何か言ってよ
多分難しい話なんだよ。
So you're in high school, man. She's a university student. Just date your own age, bucko.
僕は皿を叩き割る係
はるちゃん、近持くんを押さえつける係。
Bet plates are like hard to get around here.
何よこれ
ごめん
Yoink.
ね、なんかバタバタして。
安永くんと何を話してた？
さっきの宴でね、ちょっとまずいよねって。
Oh yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why they're not going good because of his dumbass plan. Yeah, I figured it was something like that.
匠さんがヘビって名乗ったと近持くんから聞いたんだけど、
うん、そうなんだよね。
他にヘビは？
Nope.
他いや、
Imagine two sheriffs in a mafia game. That would be so unbalanced. The mountain gave 4 times to guardians. The snake could ask the mountain whether one of the participants was a wolf or not. The monkey was the only one, which there are 2, and they had the power to know each other who the other monkey was. The monkeys should just reveal themselves. I think that's like pretty safe. You could even like be extra safe and have Takumi check one just to confirm, and if one's a villager, if one's not a wolf, then the other one's auto confirmed. But it's not like a lot of downsides for the monkeys to reveal themselves. The only counterplay by the wolves would be to like both of them lie that they're monkeys, but that is such a ballsy play, especially when the 2 real monkeys would know. And if they like, hey, we're the monkeys, then it's down to 4 people. Then it makes the game super easy, right? And you can win in like 2 investigations, so. The crow could determine whether the person who was lynched the previous day was a wolf or not. I mean, that's important to like keep that person alive, kind of. It doesn't happen it doesn't like help proactively, but it's still nice to have. Since there's no other way to confirm, especially since it's 1 kill per day, not 1 kill per wolf. And the spider could ask God to protect one of the other participants from the wolf's attack. Honestly, if this so-called God really had that power, I'd complain to him that he should protect everyone. As far as I know, anyone who didn't have a guardian was either a powerless human or a wolf. That is it. The humans could kill a person during the day, while the wolves could kill a person during the night. It was a battle for survival. The humans had to do everything to find and kill the wolves. If they couldn't find a single wolf during the feast, the whole event was completely meaningless. The wolves would simply crush the settlement.
殺人の是非を一旦脇に置くならば、今日狼容疑者を選べなかったことは単純に一日ロスだよね。
No, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. You've never played Mafia. You're dumb. There's literally no evidence to go off. It's just vibe checking the first day. I know it sucks that you're possibly sacrificing a person, but it's literally just like a random shot in the dark if you lynch day 1. So like, obviously if you hit a wolf, it feels very good, but you're more than likely to hit a person. So you're just like losing people from the village quicker. You never lynch on the first day.
そうだね。そのこともさっきヤス君と話してた。
そして実質ヘビの正体が確定してしまった。
うん。ちょっと嫌な状況。
It's not great. Could have definitely held it. And you're like, Aiden, why hold it? Isn't the snake information like very important to playing? It just adds a layer of protection. So like he can like stay undercover, investigate like a couple people, maybe 2 or 3, and then get that information out there. Then like it gives a lot of tech, a lot of room to work with. She understood it well. We couldn't expect the help of the police or getting a forensic investigation. Not to mention we were up against something supernatural, or we were up against supernatural monsters. As things were, the snake's power was the only way to find out who was a wolf or not. In other words, losing the snake would mean losing their most powerful weapon against the wolves.
でも、多分今日は大丈夫なんだ。クモは
shouldn't.
匠兄ちゃんを守るようにってことになったから。
Should protect the target.
待って、クモもバレたのか？
うん。ヤス君がこの場で明かせば狼にも聞かれるから秘密にしておこうって。
I mean it's smart, but it's just common sense. I don't know why the spider would ever reveal themselves ever. There's no reason to. Sharp! It's common sense!
それで肝臓じいちゃんが OK 出して方針が決まったんだ。
正しそうだね。
と思う。ヘビについてもそういう風にできればよかったのかな。
Probably. They really should have. It was the best to secretly gather info without revealing their guardians. Especially for the snake, he should have kept quiet and used his power to find out as much as reasonably possible before revealing himself. True? I knew it was difficult to figure out right away, but the fact that the snake, the most important role, was the first to be outed was really bad. Well, I'm sure once we loop back, we can probably talk to Takumi and make him not reveal himself. Maybe. From my perspective, Takumi-san had been so focused on protecting Yasumizu himself that he made a terrible mistake. They're not even gonna bring up Yasuna's proposal to publicly announce who the snake investigates. It's so bad. They're not gonna bring it up, huh? Maybe I'm the one overthinking it, since I'm like kind of competitive right now, since I really know these logic games, but it's just so dumb. He appeared calm, but I wouldn't have been surprised if he realized this and was actually pretty shaken.
どうなると思う？
She asked that she already knew the answer.
雲は言われるがままに匠さんを守る。当然、狼もそれを聞いているんだから。匠さんを殺そうとすれば、雲が阻むんだろう。
They're not gonna go after them though, if they're smart. They would only go if they're brain dead or they think the spider's gonna like do some 4D chess and do some normal chess and just attack Takumi as an outplay.
だね。結果、1日分の殺人権をロスする。
Shami seemed to process this as a logic game too.
僕が狼なら、匠さんは無視して、
Yep.
別の誰かを殺す。
春明さんもそう思うか。
The person they publicly announced. Wait, they might.
誰かな？
Please go for it. And please tell Takumi not to be stupid. Sorry. Sorry, I still have early 2000s vocabulary sometimes.
それはわからない。狼側の選択傾向がわからないからね。奴らが女子供の血をすすりたいとかなら、狙われるのは若い子たちだろうし。
I don't think they're targeting like that, though. If you're treating it as a logic game, you might as well think the wolves are logically targeting people too.
怖い。
大丈夫。ちえみちゃんより若い子がいるから。
Well, rip Meiko then. What the heck?
殺す。
大丈夫。美人狙いだったら一頭。
I don't know. Kyrie's kind of fire.
許す。でもそれはそれでやだな。殺される前に何されるかわかんないし。
I'm sure there are plenty of things they could conceive. Apparently there's another layer to the worst possible scenario.
趣味以外の方向で言えば、そうだな。殺すことで村人側が大きく動揺するような人物。
Maybe one of the elders?
集落の有力者。あ
Yeah.
るいは今後のゲーム展開を左右するような優秀なプレイヤー。
Okay, if I was the wolves and I didn't go for the Nobito cheese, like if we're just gonna ignore that dumb misplay, I feel like I would kill the white-haired girl. Just as if we're going by the guardians by families, which, you know, not necessarily works. She's the only like family member of the spider, so she's like a decent target for the spider, so it might just be worth killing her. Plus she is kind of influential, right? That'd be my choice.
肝臓じいちゃん。あるいはヤスくん。
It's not. Yasunagi's a werewolf. Influential because he's calling plays that are subpar. Okay. The grandfather, I agree with. That's a decent pick at least. That seemed likely. Yasunada-kun was the only one who'd done something helpful for the villagers this time. I'm being gaslit, man. That's okay. Let it play out. Let it play out. Again, I'm still locked. He's a werewolf. He seemed to be the leader of the heist rulers and had a good head on his shoulders. But his ideas required Kanzo Makishima's approval, which made it pretty clear he was a student. Honestly, I expected him to take a more initiative than he had, but the fact that he considered the younger people's opinions showed real leadership skills. In any case, he wasn't someone the humans wanted to lose. Oh yeah.
匠さんが誰を調べるかは決めたの？
うん。清之助さん。
何そのチョイス？
He's not questioning publicly choosing who to investigate. It's so dumb.
何って本人の希望で。あと人間関係的に不利な人から優先的に調べて安全性を上げようっていう。
I wasn't sure about that choice. It's not even a good choice either. Again, little girl, old man, good choices. People who are influential who could sweep the decisions, aka the two elders. Good choices. Him, like... One, he's one out of the two people who could be the crow. If we're doing the family guardian thing. So there's already like a more likely chance he's not a werewolf. It just seems like a dumb choice. I don't know. Those who were confirmed as non-wolves would have much more freedom to act. At the very least, they wouldn't be suspected as wolves who were just trying to exploit the situation during the feast. That being the case, shouldn't they have opted to choose a potential leader to investigate? Yeah, that would have been a good choice too. Well, I didn't really know if Kyonosuke no Satoshi had the skills, but from what I could tell, he definitely lacked the influence to lead. He's just... I mean, I liked him actually, because he's kind of funny, but yeah. If they wanted to secure a reliable leader, they should have went for someone like Kanzo Matsushima. But wait.
もし蛇の対象がその夜に狼にやられてしまうなら
Yes!
蛇が無駄になるか
Yes, please bring help how stupid it is to publicly announce who they're gonna investigate. Thank you, Haruki.
死んだ人はカラスが調べればいいことだから
Only the lynched, right?
違うよ。夜に殺されるのは狼が選ぶんだから間違い
Yeah,
なく人間
that
だよ。
too, obviously.
カラスはあくまで昼に宴で選ばれて殺された人の正体を知れるだけ。
そうか
Please, we gotta find the spider and tell them to protect whatever his name is. I keep calling him Nobito. I don't even know. I hope that's his last name. Whatever the case, perhaps investigating Kyonosuke, she wasn't that much of a mistake. It's not getting it clear is good regardless, but announcing he's gonna investigate him is the mistake. Did that mean they were actually doing a decent job? Well, it'd be pretty bad if Kanzo, she was the one to go. That's what I'm saying. The werewolves are in the room. If they have a brain, they will target the target. Chimmy looked gloomy. She and I probably felt that it wasn't a complete blunder, but still had a bad feeling about it. During the feast, everyone had to lock themselves somewhere all alone around every sunset. It was called sheltering. Okay, so it's all alone. That answers the question of why don't they just group and, like, there could be alibis, so... You can't even go off alibis, so day one was literally just vibes. So it would be a horrible lynch. Well, I could understand it considering the legend, but I'd still wondered why the students didn't go to school. It was a weekday. Are you dumb? What is my dude taught? There's a fucking werewolf game going on. You want them to go to school, bro? Oh yeah, we'll be back for the lynching after class. You know, I gotta finish my math project. Like, what are you talking about? When I asked, they just told me why would we leave when it's so dangerous? Yeah. The idea that they couldn't leave when the mist was here was so popular it affected their daily lives. Yeah, it's reasonable. Also, the people at Kami Fujiyoshi had to know that Yasumizu was covered in mist, right? Considering the school there probably had a few students to begin with, the non-presence of the three from Yasumizu would normally be a serious problem. I knew it was a settlement for the ostracized, but did they really neglect this place that badly? I mean, they probably saw the mist and like, oh shit, the fucking werewolves are there, man. You know what? It's alright, count them as absent. We're not gonna make a home call, man. Looking at that from that angle, it's safe to assume that the local villages, Kami Fujiyoshi included, actually concealed the feast of the Yomi Purge. Sure. I thought about that and some similar things in room 203 of the student's dorm, the place I was given. Chimmy had given me some cup ramen and some hot water. We chatted for a moment before about being neighbors for a while, and then she returned to her room. Weird we could be so casual about this, considering there's a chance we wouldn't meet again tomorrow. There's no reason to kill Chimmy. It would be such a random pick. Unless Chimmy said something in the feast that was like... that like set the wolves off. that made her feel dangerous, but I don't really think so. I charted. After dinner, I took a bath. The gas boiler was pretty damn old, so learning how to use it took a while. Dude, I really want like one of those traditional Japanese baths. The what, like the fucking, it's just like a circle, kind of looks like a barrel, and you just stay there with like hot water. It's so good because like I have a bathtub obviously, but like when I take a like I bought like this like instant hot spring stuff when I went to Japan, and like I use it sometimes, but the bath's kind of small, man. But when you're in the circle, it like basically covers your whole body up to your neck, while like you're lying in like a normal bathtub, depending on the size obviously. But mine's like normal, like condo size, so it's a little small for me. And it's like you don't get fully covered. It's a kind of awkward covering your whole body. I don't know, man. The circle baths are sick. Also, just like the actually, okay. Don't talk about baths right now. Who cares? Who cares? There's some working electrical outlets too, so I could charge my phone. I didn't have a wristwatch, so that was important. By the way, my room didn't have a kitchen. You're not cooking anyways, bro. You're just eating cup ramen the whole time here. I was pretty sure the other rooms didn't either. From what I could tell, no one here actually cooked for or ate at their own homes. They all relied on the dining hall to provide their meals. Maybe Jimmy's cooking then. Like if all the meals are centralized in one place, maybe there is something going on with the food. This settlement had not only a unique culture, but a way of life as well. I couldn't help but wonder how something like this began and survived into the modern era. I mean, they're fairly isolated on a mountain, and, you know, they are living, like, fine. They're not really struggling with life, besides the fucking werewolves and shit, and dead tourists popping up, but... like, there's something self-sustainable, and they don't have or need interaction from, like, outsiders, and... it made sense it would flourish. It was an interesting subject to research, but for now I had to worry about the fact that my life was in danger. Anyway, what were my options now? Tonight, nothing. We're just gonna have to see what happens, and then we can really play around tomorrow. And like, I wish we taught... I mean, he didn't really pick up on the whole public announcing the snakes thing as bad, but... If at least the good thing is, if Nobito dies, at least they'll know, hey, that was dumb. We shouldn't publicly announce the snake's investigations afterwards, so. But then it depends on how the spider powers works, if that matters, because the snake might just die then instead. Anyways, I wasn't part of the feast, but walking around at night was probably dangerous regardless. Yeah, I'm not choosing that option if they give that to me. What the heck? After all, I had memories of being killed by doing exactly that. From a logical standpoint, that was probably just a dream, but it had a quality to it that made it hard to believe it was. I had to be careful until I was certain. Then again, I had a record of surviving by just not making any noise at night. Maybe I should have stayed awake and looked around? Also, Tatsumi-san said they were gonna have someone keep watch at night. Didn't he? Was he gonna do it himself? That's dumb if he actually does that and just dies anyways. So even if the spider protects him, he still dies from corruption. Oh my god. It would be like such a bad scenario. Considering the snake's importance, he shouldn't do something so dangerous. Shit, they barely decided on anything in the feast. I wasn't getting enough info. I mean, honestly, that's just fair for like normal Mafia. You don't get much info on day one. It's just how the game's played. You have to make a sacrificial, like, someone's just gonna die the first night. It is what it is. I wasn't getting enough info either. I felt like I barely knew the basics. Talking during the feast meant giving info to the wolves, but if the humans kept too many things hidden, the wolves would end up knowing way more than them, and that was just dangerous. Still, there was a limit to what I could do in my situation. If I kept being the messenger I was today, I could create a huge imbalance of info myself. Not to mention I could be deemed suspicious and lose the residents' trust. Shit, what was I supposed to do here? Was it best for me to just stay quiet and wait for the feast to end? That wasn't like me at all. I don't think you should do that, but You just gotta sleep off this night, but like play hard tomorrow. I charted. Why is it on the shift key, man? There's a mail slot on the door. I opened it up and looked outside. Everything was still covered in mist, so I couldn't see much. I could only see a handrail and a branches joining the hallway. But maybe I could see some intruder if I kept staring. Like, why though? You're not even on the chopping block. They couldn't kill you if they wanted to. Not likely. After all, this was the room at the end of the second floor. Haruchan's and Shimi's room were closer to the stairs, so I couldn't see anyone going to attack them. I mean, you would probably hear it if you're awake anyways at that point. Probably hear a door being busted open. The only time I could see the monsters come would be when it was coming for me. Maybe keeping watch like this was the most important thing if I wanted to stay alive, but I found it hard to put my own life on the priority list. For some reason, I felt like if I died, I'd just go back to the starting point. Yeah, I better not think that anyway. I mean, it's true, but also I want to play the key stay alive. That's just how I roll. Anyway, I had to stay awake. I honestly think you should just sleep. Low-key. Unless you can like hear the werewolf transforming or something. It's probably good to like not be sleepy during the day when it's most important. Hold on. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming. It's gone? No, it's not. Oh, I hate... It's the worst feeling when a sneeze lingers like this. No, it's actually gone. That's crazy. What's happening? We snoozing? New day, new me. Wednesday. Alright. What? No, I charted and he slept. It's crazy. As I woke up and tried to move, my head rubbed against something tough and then smacked into the doorknob. Damn, you fell asleep peeping? I writhed in pain. What was going on? Did I fall asleep against the door? Was I more tired than I thought? Glad I didn't die and all, but this was a failure in my eyes. It's not, man. Daytime's most important. I feel like you should just snooze it off, especially since you can't even be targeted, I think. And if they do target you, then they're stupid because we don't even have voting rights, so it's literally against their best interest. Sleeping in an unnatural position made my whole body hurt. I wobbled over to my fully charged phone. It was 6 o'clock. That was early morning for me. I'd have loved just to go back to sleep, but I was too curious about the feast. After washing my face with hot water and putting on my shoes, I decided to take a peek through the mail slot. Yo, Chiemi. Outside, I saw Chiemi standing there with a knife in hand. I'm not scared. I reflexively stepped back, tripped, and fell on my ass. What the hell was that? She's probably chopping shit up to put in our instant ramen for the day, man. There's a woman standing before my room with a weapon. You don't even notice those shorts? You don't notice those legs? I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough to conclude that I was dealing with a scene straight out of a horror movie. What could have prompted this? Did she suspect I was a wolf, or was she a wolf herself? She knocked on the door, making me squeal a bit. Would she kill me if I replied? Bro is... You're really not trusting Chiemi, huh?
ちなみに私は現在凶器を所持してますが、ご信用につき心配なきよう。
It's reasonable.
紛らわしい。
Okay, dude.
あ、起きてた。大丈夫大丈夫。ほら、凶器はちょっと離れたところに置きました。
I hesitantly peeked through the mail slot and saw her hopping around, showing me her empty hands. After meeting up with Chiemi, we went around the dorm and woke up the students. All of them were alright. Alright, no students died. I didn't think they would die. Were they not ready? We went to the Nosato mansion just because it was close. Please. Please tell me he's alive. Yasumizu was still misty and unpleasantly silent. If he's alive and the wolves attacked Takumi and he got protected, then we're fucking gaming and they're idiots. I walked carefully, just like yesterday morning. I couldn't write off the possibility that a werewolf would jump out of the mist and tear me apart. It'd be over for me. I was walking ahead, dragging Chemi by the hand carefully about where I was going. If something happened and I got eaten or something, Chemi could either fight back or run away. He lived. That's crazy. Bro, if I was the wolf... Oh, man. Thank God. The wolves are dumb. Who'd they target, then? If they tried to attack me, they're actually stupid. Who else would they target? Maybe he was right on the money, that they killed one of the older people. Or again, my choice would be the white-haired girl, who's possibly Spider.
野里さん、夫妻子とちえみちゃんです。
I mean, killing Nosato. By the way, his name was not Nobito, it's Nosato. Close enough. Like, it does basically negate the snake's pick, but maybe they value on trying to snipe the leaders more. I don't know. I'm very surprised you're alive, bro. We peered through the mist and a gloomy frown appeared.
いやーどうも。
屋敷は大丈夫だったみたいですね。
当然だろう。屋敷には古臭いながらもセキュリティ設備が設けられている。
そっか。じゃあみんなで避難させてもらえます？
なぜそんなことをせねばならんのかね。これは休み。
That's crazy. Thank God we cleared this time. I'm sure he's gonna help in the
じゃあ
meetings.
休みずの問題解決のためとっとと下に降りてます。
待ちたまえ。急ぎ動かないと危険だろう。
Aww, see, he's cute. Really, I was beginning to think this guy was best described as all bark, no bite. Though prideful and vain, he wasn't as smart as he claimed to be, as shown by his inability to take charge of the feast. Also, his fussy attitude was probably just him making up for his fear. It was entirely possible he was just putting on air, and that mystery of Yasumizu, or rather Fujiyoshi, was actually scaring him. If you're not scared about fucking werewolves killing the villagers in a death game, then you're just crazy, to be honest, like Mochi. Anyway, we went downhill and met up with the students.
慣れた道でも不気味なもんだね。
Mochi still dripped out, huh?
だね。霧って不思議だ。
これなら脱いでも怒られない。
やめろ、若者。
Haru Matsushima was acting weird. Mochi was definitely expecting a retort from her. She didn't say anything and her face was so pale you could tell through the mist. Hanging her head, she was lightly shaking. Everyone else could see it too, but no one chose to address it. Let her deal with it herself. Questions would quickly become suspicions after all. Perhaps she was a wolf and did something horrific last night? I don't think so, man. You think the wolves... The wolves... I'm pretty sure they describe the wolves as like either kidnapping or killing someone and just taking over their position. So they wouldn't feel guilty. Unless the legends are just wrong about that part. But I'm gonna assume it's not about that. As we all thought similar things, she suddenly collapsed to the
大丈夫
ground.
か、はるちゃん。
触らないで。
Her hoarse scream shocked everyone.
はるちゃん。
兄ちゃん、違う。ごめん。だけど。
Maybe she's just sus of everyone.
は
そうだよね。神経質にもなるよ。足元に気をつけて。
We then slowed down. Haru-chan, not touching anyone's hands, was at the rear of the group. As we walked, trees and stones drifted out of visibility through the surrounding mists. Our vision was so limited it felt like the world around us was changing with every step we took. A tunnel of trees, a path on the paddy field, a stone platform, a concrete stairway. We walked between the realms every passing second. I was still wondering about Haru-chan. What was on her mind? Was she afraid or wary? After descending for a bit, we arrived at the plaza. Takumi's alive! I mean, that's okay. Kaori alive. I'm feeling it's one of the old people. Probably the grandpa. We met 2 more people in the front of the dining hall.
ご老人方は朝寝坊かね。
ばあちゃんは身支度中だ。体調が良くねえらしい。これから来てねえ連中のところを回る。
So grandma's alive.
ついてこい。
This is getting smaller.
なぜ君が私に命令する？
男手がいるかもしれねえからだ。夫妻悪い
Hey.
あんたも頼むぜ。
I'm here to help. This was the first time he ordered me to do something, but it wasn't a situation where I could be happy about him relying on me. Okay, I was a little happy, but whatever.
ええ、もちろん。
He probably had a bad feeling. Namely, that he wouldn't be able to rely on a certain someone ever again. As I passed by Tori-san, I heard her whisper.
あのね、安永、ちょっといい？
何母さん。
義継を
Oh
探してほしい
no.
の。
No, they didn't kill Delinquent, bro. Not Delinquent. Why? He offered nothing. And he was just a cool character. Everyone probably had a bad feeling about this. The 3 of us guys checked out the houses. Yasunada-kun, Chimi, and Mochi walked around the settlements. Unless he said something. What did he say, though? I don't think he's... Was he accusing anyone? I don't think so. I probably need to rewatch the feast again. We agreed to split up and start searching. The misty village was silent. I couldn't hear anyone chatting. I'd seen these buildings from the outside, but it was my first time actually walking in. The shabby buildings built using blackened planks were more or less buried in vegetation. Some were on the verge of collapse. The way their frames jutted from the mist reminded me of the carcasses of giant beasts. I walked on a line between the grass, a footpath, surely. I often heard something small jump in the grass. It was probably just some buds or frogs, but it still made me flinch.
リカコさんはここに住んでいるのだったか。
Okay, we'll see. This is my pick if I wasn't going for the Nosato cheese play.
ああ、そこんちだ。
Rikato, good kill. Meito, horrible kill.
くそ。なんだって彼女がこんな場所に住まねばならん。
お前が知らねえんだったら俺らが知るわけねえだろうが。身車あたりの指図じゃねえのか。
Fuck Midorama. All my homies hate Midorama.
私が知る限りでは、彼女が休みずに移ったのは自主的とのことだがね。
ひょっとしたら霧が立つんで、魔除けのまじないでもしに来たんじゃねえか。無駄だったがよ。
Or to just help play in the game.
室匠。私ならともかく、彼女相手にあんまり口が過ぎるんじゃないかね。相手は上藤吉の長
Hold
者
on.
の正当だぞ。
Nosato actually standing up for something?
知るか。ここは安水だ。あいつ自分で言ってたろうが。宴になりゃみんな食われんだよ。
リカコさん、リカコさん。
I like that respect. Apparently, Takumi-san didn't like the Umetsu family, or the 4 head families in general. Now that I thought about it, though, she wasn't as disliked as Kiyonosuke. The villagers in general weren't fond of Rikato Umetsu. I really didn't get that vibe from them, I guess. I thought she was more respected, but I guess not. Seemed like a pretty obvious outcome, though. Yasumizu was the settlement for the ostracized. It was impossible for a member of one of the head families who openly spurned them to form a good relationship with the locals. Rikato-san emerged before too long. She was wearing her usual strange getup, and she didn't seem any different from how she looked yesterday. Alright. They didn't choose my pick.
メイコを連れて行きませんと。
We moved on to the Nuts house. Oh yeah, I guess there are a lot in different buildings per the rules, right? Felt like Rikato was urging me, so I woke the girl up.
メイコちゃん、朝だよ。
Well, I couldn't imagine Rikato-san raising her voice, while the other 2 probably didn't feel like they had to get involved with the girl. After a few calls, she finally came out still half asleep. But I mean, Meito would have been a dumb kill, but nice to see her alive. Bah, she's the sheep.
メイコよかった。
キヨ、二人を食堂まで連れて行ってやれ。
リカコさん、こちらへ。
はい。
She is clumsy. She was apparently trying to get my attention, so I turned around and said yes.
ごめんなさい。
Her sudden apology left me completely confused. She then departed alongside the other two, leaving me alone with
いいん
Takumi-san.
ですか清之助さんがいなくて。
I guess technically no one can die if the wolves or if the spider popped off. Let's go.
どうせ役に立たねえ。植松の坊主もどきがくたばってたら運ばせようと思ってたけどよ。
Mock Priestess.
もう誰がやられたか分かったから。
It's either Oribe or the old man, right?
まだ狼じじい氏の可能性も。
Or old wolf guy. Yeah, those are the 3 left.
適当言うな。おやっさんが生きてたら誰より早起きしてとっくに休みずを3週くらいはしてるっつんだ。
Ooh, rip old man. Yeah, he was the leader.
すまねえ。奥野がおやっさんの家だ。
That's a pretty good kill. I followed him in silence. I couldn't think of anything to say. The fact that the door was unlocked made it clear that something wasn't right. The moment I opened it, my nostrils were assaulted by a smell I'd experienced just yesterday, the reek of a fresh corpse. Alright. Rip old man. Decent kill, decent kill. Surprised he didn't go for the cheese play, but the good thing about not going for the cheese play is there's not really any counterplay. Because, like, the spider obviously could protect Takumi. It could, like, go for a counterplay and protect Nosato. But if they choose anything else, it would just be random, so. And where's the delinquent, man? Hopefully he didn't die to corruption. Unlike Takumi-san, who was looking away and cursing, I did my best to burn the scene I witnessed into my memory. I felt like to avert my eyes would be disrespectful and chided myself for wanting to look away. The body was much... Can we do a look at that? Little hand. Body was more intact. That made it much easier to become painfully aware of the fact that this was a human and intelligent life form who was with us yesterday like it was no big deal. There was one problem though. The part of the body that used to be the head was completely destroyed. Marie... oops, was about to say a spoiler to another visual novel. Never mind. There was no part of the head left untouched. It was that thorough. Should not spoil like one of the better surprise deaths I've seen in a visual novel. There's no part of the head left untouched. It was that thorough. It was obviously the result of a relentless, heavy blunt attack. Everything above the neck was just a strange, flat mass of shattered skull fragments and the white and red organic matter. Compared to it, everything else was largely unharmed, so they probably... Well, I don't know how wolves attacked, but that is interesting. The old-looking clothing and the unexpected robust chest for someone his age. You know what would be crazy? Actually, I don't know if it... I don't think it's possible in a Mafia. Like, what if it's like an Uminato thing, where someone just like... Oh. Alright, ignore the Uminato part. But like, what if it's just like... Someone fates their death, like makes it look gruesome, but like faked it. And then like what if this is the fucking missing Oribe kid? Dressed up as the old man, destroyed his head so it's unrecognizable. Though obviously there would be like some problems with the body. But they were both kind of ripped. I guess you like need someone with the same body type, and then you have like a player who's just well, I don't know if like I don't think it works like a normal mystery novel because there's the Mafia rules. I don't know if like a wolf can just fate their death and not go to the feast, because then it's just impossible to win in the feast, right? Anyways, I guess this guy's but the body types are way too different. It wouldn't really work like that, but you know what I'm saying. We're all the proof needed to know that this was the body of Kanzo Makashimashi.
片付けるんですか？
当たり前だろ。
少しだけ時間をください。
Investigate.
どうする気だ？
できる限りのことを調べます。
Since we had no idea where we could get out, when we could get out of here, protecting the scene of the crime for an official investigation meant we had to leave the body to rot here, and we just couldn't do that. And considering the horrible state it was in, the villagers probably wanted to take care of it their own way as soon as possible. Not much I could do to stop that. Thus I did my duty as someone without such obligations. Corpse searching time. This corpse was completely unlike the ones from yesterday. While those two were destroyed completely, the damage on this one was focused on the head. The weapon clearly wasn't sharp, and they used something blunt. That seems very un-werewolf-like. The skin on his face was torn and not sliced apart. What if this guy died by someone, and then the delinquent guy died by the werewolves? That would be crazy. The skin on his face was torn but not sliced apart, and the skull was shattered. This was caused by repeated blunt attacks on the head. It wasn't my job to picture whether there was some profound grudge in this. I charted! The only clear thing was that the wolves killed him using something blunt, not claws or fangs. It was obviously done with dedicated intent, not accidentally. At the very least, the entity that made this corpse wasn't the same as the one that made the one from yesterday. It made sense if you separated them and assumed that yesterday's was the corruptions and today's was the wolves. That's what I was thinking. Unless we see another body. But it doesn't, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question. It seems very human-like. But the thing I had seen when I was walking around at night that time had the appearance of a wolf. Or rather, a werewolf. If the werewolves were the ones bringing the corruption, the tale all this was based on would make even less sense. If the corruption was Great Lord Shinai's, the mountain god's punishment, it'd be weird for it to be delivered by the wolves. Holding back my nausea, I looked back at the corpse. Then I rolled back my sleeves and reached for the destroyed head.
おい、何を？
ないと思いますが、一応調べます。
Glad we have medical knowledge. It's kind of crazy. Useful. Decapitation meant body doubles. Mystery rating 101! Wait, he's based. Dude, that's what I was thinking, man. Yeah. It's a common play in mysteries. To, like, fake the death, just so, like, if you think he's dead, then he can walk around pretty much with an alibi. And his alibi is you think he's dead. If someone brought in and killed a person with a similar build to Kanzoshi's, then left him there, his death could easily be fate. Yeah, it's either that or the other strat is if there were multiple people here, some person who was working with him, and obviously he looked dead, and they would be like, oh my god, he's dead, like touching him. Like trying to convince others, oh, we don't need to chat because obviously he looks dead and this person thinks he's dead. But really they're working together.
肝臓さん、下顎に銀歯ありました。
いや、ね。
His voice was strangely forced. I looked at him and realized he was kinda pale. I might have overdone it, so I couldn't be soft in this situation. Did we actually find evidence? It's fake?
おやっさんは60過ぎて差し歯も何にも入れてねえの自慢してたから。あったのか？
いえ。避けるための質問です。健康な歯がびっしりです。
Okay, baited.
なんだよ。
To see if he is lying. Made sense. The lower jaw was mostly intact while the upper one was destroyed along with the rest of the head. Despite that, I saw a hint of the old man in the eyebrows and the dark hair with streaks of gray in them. It was pretty clear it was the one and only Kanzo Makashimashi, so it was probably pointless to keep thinking about the way he was injured. Wonder what, maybe that's why Haru-chan was acting weird, but how would she know? My hands were all messy, I'd have to wash them later. The corpse aside, Kanzoshi was lying on some thin bedding and there's no sign of a struggle. He was either instantly killed, excuse me, by the first attack, or knocked out and laid here and then killed. Still, it wasn't a corpse that was easy to make. The situation here was peculiar. One point I found curious was the fact that Kanzoshi surely obeyed the shelter law and locked himself in. However, the lock on the door was still perfectly intact, so how'd they unlock it? So logically speaking, Kanzoshi had opened the door and let the culprit in. There was no sign of resistance, so it probably was done by someone he felt safe with. Yeah, it's obvious. I don't think it's her, though. However, if this was a normal killing by the standards of the Feast of the Yomi Purge, then this was definitely made possible by something unnatural. Back to the situation at hand. The futon and everything around it were bloody, obviously, but there was another strange thing about the crime scene: the dampness. Some spots were really wet, and clearly not because of the mist. It was like the murderer purposely spread some water here. Were they trying to wash away the blood splatter on them? But there's no point in doing that in front of the body. The footprints were faded, and were they trying to cover up their tracks? They were still pretty visible, though. It was more likely they put the bloody footprints on the futon and tatami that was already wet. The shape of the prints told me they weren't made by Western shoes, Japanese clods, or wild beasts. They were just long ovals, reminiscent of those made by Zori sandals. There weren't many of them, though. Most of the blood was absorbed by the futon. But from what I had, I could tell there was only one type of footprint.
何か分かったのかよ。
大したことは。
だろうな。あんた別にそっちの専門家じゃねえんだろ。
ええ、残念ながら。
All I knew was that the culprit was a very dangerous human. Werewolf! Alright, we're gonna end it here though. We're at the hour mark, so old man died. Interesting. And Haru-chan's acting weird. Also interesting. So we have some pieces to play. We have a heart confirm on Nosato. Maybe. Depends if Takumi even investigated him. He might have chose someone else, which would also be fine. Just getting a heart confirm on anyone besides the old man would actually be like a dub. So we'll see you next time though. Thank you for watching as always. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Raging Loop, and I will see you next time. Later.